though, it is Wednesday, and that means that we are edging ever closer to the weekend, to Easter weekend, ever closer to our big celebration. And today I just want to chat about Jesus' final meal. So he decided to have one final meal with his friends, with his disciples, his apprentices, I guess you could call them. They've spent 3 years spending time with Jesus, becoming like Jesus, learning to do the things that Jesus has done without really knowing what's about to come. They've become close with him. They've just worked and walked with him. They've learned his rhythms. And he's having one final meal with them. And he takes one final opportunity to just shock them all to their core. As they go into the room where they're about to eat, he gets on the floor and he washes their feet. This is a kind of weird detail for us to be reading in 2020 when washing feet is not something we tend to do. But back then, they would have immediately understood this and been shaken by this, because to wash a guest's feet was a servant's job. Not just any servant, but the lowliest servant in the household. It was their job. It was a kind of practical job. It was dusty and dirty, and all they ever wore was sandals, and all they ever did was walk. So the feet just got genuinely quite mucky, and they would clean that before they went in to eat, before they went in to relax. And here's Jesus making a very intentional decision to do that job himself. This is huge for the people experiencing that, for the people reading this for the first time, for the people hearing rumours that Jesus did this. This is huge. This is upside down. This is strange. This is controversial. This is socially unacceptable. This is too much. You can kind of imagine like the tension in the room as Jesus was doing this, kind of like rising as he goes from one friend to another, and people realizing he's really going to do everyone. He's really doing this. This is not his place. Jesus was a teacher. He was a rabbi. He was well thought of. He was a guest. This was not his place to do this. Like I say, this was upside down. But this is Jesus' legacy. This is what he's all about. This is what he's left. This is what he's told us to continue doing. He says in John's Gospel, he says, "Now that I, your Lord and your teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set an example that you should do as I have done for you." He says, look at the way I'm treating you. Now treat each other like this forever. Humility and service and the sacrifice and self-forgetfulness, that's his legacy. That's his kingdom. Like, that's what he wants to instill in us. That's what he wants our reality to be. If you want to be the first, you better be the last. If you want to be the leader, you better be the servant. It's the upside down reality, but it's our reality. And we are that every time we genuinely and authentically sacrifice ourselves to help someone else out. Every time we go out of our way and make our days a little more tricky to make someone else's day a tiny bit easier. Every time we walk into a room and genuinely put more effort into being interested than interesting. When we listen without agenda just to listen. When we be with someone without agenda just to be with someone. When we genuinely, even when it's tricky, even when we don't feel like it, put others before ourselves, we are making sure that Jesus gets what he paid for. We are taking after Jesus. This is the reality that he wants spread to every corner of every community. This is it. And so let that be your reality today. I know that it's tricky because we can't really see many other people. But I challenge you today to try and find a way to turn this reality upside down, to turn your lives upside down, just like Jesus told us we should do. I'll see you tomorrow.